Welcome to the Deep Dive, where we unpack critical information and extract the most important nuggets of knowledge or insight for you. Today, we're cutting through the noise surrounding this month's Patch Tuesday, specifically August 12, 2025. We've got the latest PortalFuse Weekly KB Update report right here, and our mission, well, it's the same as always, give you a clear, concise, and deeply informed shortcut, helping you understand what truly matters most for your managed environments.
That's right. And for our audience, the Intune administrators out there, we're deliberately moving beyond just the headlines today. We'll be meticulously dissecting the latest knowledge base articles, categorizing them, and then really discussing their direct actionable implications for your Intune deployments. Our focus today spans, well, the usual critical security updates, but also the ongoing intricacies of lifecycle management for various Windows versions. And interestingly, a particularly fascinating emerging category, non-security enhancements centered around artificial intelligence components within Windows 11. Yeah, our goal is really to connect the dots for you, providing precise technical insights into the updates that directly influence your deployment strategies and, frankly, your operational effectiveness.
All right, let's start by unpacking a couple of significant overarching themes then. These really jump out immediately when we look at the entire landscape of this month's updates. These aren't just isolated fixes, right?
Right.
They represent ongoing strategic considerations, things administrators need to be actively factoring into their long-term planning.
Absolutely. These are foundational. Probably the most critical overarching theme highlighted across, well, numerous security articles this month is the impending expiration of secure boot certificates. We're talking about specific certificates used by the vast majority of Windows devices, and they're set to expire starting in June 2026.
June 2026. Okay, that sounds far away, but in IT planning terms.
Exactly. It isn't a distant problem you can just, kick down the road. It's a clear imperative for proactive action right now for anyone managing Windows endpoints. These certificates, they're absolutely fundamental to the secure boot process. They act as cryptographic trust anchors, verifying the OS boot components way before Windows fully loads. Their expiration carries significant risk. It's not trivial.
And when you say significant risk, unpack that a bit. What are the real-world implications an administrator needs to grasp beyond just, oh no, something's expiring?
Well, the implications are profound, potentially very disruptive. Failure to update these certificates proactively could lead to significant device boot issues. We could be looking at systems rendered inoperable, or perhaps worse, insecure.
Inoperable, wow.
Yeah, imagine the potential chaos of a fleet of devices suddenly unable to boot securely, all because a foundational trust anchor baked into the system's firmware has expired. This isn't hypothetical. It means administrators must review Microsoft's specific guidance on updating the certificates well in advance of that June 2026 deadline. You need to identify affected devices, understand the update mechanism, which might involve firmware updates too, and build it into your update rings.
So it's not just another patch.
Definitely not. It's not just a typical Patch Tuesday item you deploy and forget. It's a critical fleet management strategy item. It impacts the very foundation of system operation. And from a security posture perspective, keeping secure boot configurations up to date is vital. It's your first line of defense against nasty things like bootkits and rootkits. You need that trusted boot chain.
So the real insight here is maybe less about this specific certificate and more about readiness for these kinds of life cycle events.
Precisely. You hit the nail on the head. It's about recognizing this as a blueprint. How will you handle future supply chain security issues? Or other cryptographic lifecycle events? Are your current patch management workflows agile enough? Can they handle a critical certificate expiration that isn't just a typical CVE patch? It forces a shift, doesn't it? From purely reactive patching to proactive, long-term cryptographic lifecycle management. Often needs planning beyond just the IT ops team, too.
That secure boot certificate expiration really underscores needing to stay ahead. And speaking of long-term planning, what's the other big reminder this month? Something Intune admins are always grappling with: OS lifecycle.
Indeed. A persistent, crucial message embedded within several Windows 10 security updates this month is the approaching end of support for Windows 10. Specifically, Windows 10 mainstream support is slated to end on October 14th, 2025.
October 14th, 2025.
Okay. Yeah, and this date is specifically highlighted in the overviews for KB 5062561, KB 5063709, and KB 5063889. Microsoft is really hammering this home. The message is consistent and urgent. Users are explicitly encouraged to transition to Windows 11.
It's like that deadline you know is coming, but somehow it still sneaks up on you.
Huh. Exactly. It's like that looming deadline for your taxes. You know it's coming, keep telling yourself you'll get to it, and then bam, it's here. For Windows 10, that tax day is October 14th, 2025. Feels far off maybe, but for enterprise migrations, that's practically tomorrow, given the scale of planning involved.
So for our listeners, the Intune administrators, how does this translate into concrete steps
Yeah.
beyond just circling the date on the calendar? What are the specific challenges, the tools they should be leveraging in Intune?
Well, for Intune admins, this isn't just a suggestion. It's a major operational imperative. It demands immediate strategic planning and, frankly, execution. Organizations must accelerate their migration strategies to Windows 11. You need continued access to security updates, feature enhancements, vendor support, the whole package. This involves meticulous planning. Think hardware compatibility assessments across your entire device inventory.
Right, leveraging Intune's reporting for that.
Absolutely. Pinpoint which devices meet Windows 11 requirements, identify those that don't flag them for replacement. Then there's application readiness testing. You have to test your critical line of business apps on Windows 11 before you deploy broadly. Avoid those nasty compatibility surprises.
And the deployment itself. Autopilot. Feature updates.
Exactly. Choose and execute the right deployment methods through Intune. Windows Autopilot for new devices, Windows feature update policies for in-place upgrades on existing ones. It means actively finding those remaining Windows 10 devices, especially the older builds like version 1507, that's OS build 240.21100. Prioritize their upgrade or replacement. Ignoring this deadline, it just leaves devices vulnerable, unsupported. That's a huge risk for security, for compliance.
So the key insight is, this isn't just applying a patch, it's a full lifecycle overhaul.
Precisely. A complete lifecycle overhaul for potentially a significant chunk of your endpoints. It demands a robust, well-tested Intune strategy. Think phased rollouts, clear user communication, and comprehensive post-migration support. It's a big project.
Okay, we've talked big picture, the strategic themes. But the devil's always in the details, isn't it? Let's dive into the specifics for Windows 10 this month. What are some impactful fixes our listeners need on their radar? Let's start with KB 5062554.
Certainly. Starting with KB 5062554. This is a critical security update. It applies to Windows 10 Enterprise LTSC 2021, IoT Enterprise LTSC 2021, and also the mainstream Windows 10 version 22H2, its core function, addressing various unspecified security vulnerabilities within the internal Windows OS functionality.
Unspecified always makes me a bit nervous, but I guess it's necessary sometimes.
It is. It typically means Microsoft is patching foundational weaknesses. If they detailed them publicly before widespread patching, well, malicious actors would have a field day. So while you don't get the nitty-gritty CVE details, knowing it addresses internal OS functionality means it's targeting core components, stuff that could be leveraged for system compromise if left unpatched. Beyond security, this update also includes general quality improvements, aiming for overall system stability, performance, the usual goodness, and crucially, it incorporates the latest servicing stack update, SSU. That's KB 5063706.
Yes, the SSU, always critical for patch success.
Absolutely paramount for Intune admins. The SSU is effectively the engine that installs other updates reliably. If your SSU isn't healthy, subsequent updates are just much more likely to fail. That leads to non-compliant systems, frustrating manual fixes, higher support load, a headache you don't need. A healthy SSU directly means higher patch compliance in Intune, fewer deployment nightmares.
Those foundational fixes are key, definitely. But are there any specific user-facing improvements in KB 5062554, things admins might get questions about, or maybe even some rare praise for once it's applied?
Praise for patching, imagine that. But yes, actually, this KB does stand out by resolving two notable known issues that directly hit user productivity and experience. Firstly, it addresses problems with the Microsoft Changey Input Method Editor, IME, for traditional Chinese users.
Oh, IME issues can be incredibly disruptive.
They really can. The IME lets users type complex characters. Before this fix, users saw things like unresponsive spacebars, wrong character outputs, trouble forming words, basically making typing a nightmare. Huge productivity hit. Secondly, it fixes an issue where the search feature in the Windows emoji panel just stopped working after a previous update.
The emoji panel search, that's one of those little things that really annoys people when it breaks.
Exactly. It's often those small UI glitches that generate the most help desk tickets, isn't it? This restores that common component. And interestingly, these specific Changey IME and emoji panel issues were previously noted as addressed in KB 5062649. It shows the cumulative nature of these fixes carrying forward.
So tackling critical security and some nagging user experience problems, good combo. Any known issues with KB 5062554 itself that administrators should be mindful of during deployment?
That's a great question. And yes, the update document does acknowledge an ongoing known issue. It concerns Noto fonts. Specifically, Chinese, Japanese, and Korean CJK text might appear blurry or unclear at 96 dpi. This happens in Chromium-based browsers, so Edge and Chrome mainly.
96 dpi, so standard non-scale displays.
Correct. The workaround suggested is to increase display scaling, which you can manage via Intune config profiles or, report issues via the Google Noto Fonts GitHub. It highlights this persistent challenge with font rendering across different DPI settings in certain apps. It can affect readability, especially for users working with East Asian languages. Not a showstopper, but definitely something to be aware of if users report blurry text in Edge or Chrome.
Okay, good to know. Next up, a foundational security update for an older, but probably still quite prevalent, Windows 10 build. Yeah. KB 5062561.
Indeed, KB 5062561. This one's specifically for Windows 10 OS, build 10240.21073. Its primary focus, enhancing security within the internal Windows OS functionality. So similar to the last one in that respect. Unlike some other KBs that might list specific bugs fixed, this one suggests a broad hardening of the OS core, addressing general security posture without spelling out the exact weaknesses.
And it's cumulative, I assume.
Yes, absolutely. It includes fixes from the previous update, KB 5060998. It underscores that cumulative update model. Each new update builds on the last, keeping things comprehensive. Crucially, this KB, again, prominently reiterates those two big strategic points: the impending secure boot certificate expiration in June 2026 and the Windows 10 end of support date, October 14, 2025.
They're really making sure nobody misses those dates.
They are. This consistent messaging within the update docs serves as that crucial ongoing reminder. Admins need to review their long-term OS strategies, get proactive about planning. For Intune admins, it means keeping those device inventory reports accurate, making sure migration plans are actually moving forward. And from a deployment angle, here's some welcome news. The KB article states there are no known issues associated with this particular update.
Always nice to hear.
It really is. That predictability simplifies deployment planning, reduces potential post-update fire drills, offers a potentially smoother rollout, which everyone appreciates.
Moving to another critical update for some very widely used Windows 10 versions now, KB 5063709. What does this one bring to the table?
Right, KB 5063709. Another critical security update. This applies to Windows 10 Enterprise LTSC 2021, IoT Enterprise LTSC 2021, and all editions of mainstream Windows 10 version 22H2. The scope here is broad. It addresses a variety of security vulnerabilities, and again, like others we've discussed, the specifics are generalized to miscellaneous security improvements.
Indicating that broad sweep of internal OS hardening again.
Exactly. It ensures a wide range of underlying weaknesses get addressed, even if Microsoft isn't detailing them publicly in the KB article itself. This update also incorporates quality improvements from previous updates. It specifically mentions KB 5062554 and KB 5062649. This cumulative aspect is crucial for maintaining consistency across your fleet, ensuring fixes from prior releases are carried forward.
And the SSU.
Yep, includes an SSU update too. This one is SSU KB 5063261, further enhancing the reliability of the update process for these specific Windows 10 builds. A stable servicing stack is just paramount for efficient patching and high success rates in large Intune environments. Cuts down on failed updates, corrupted installs. Similar to KB 5062561, there are no specific bug fixes documented here beyond general quality and security boosts, and importantly, also no known issues reported in the KB article.
So primarily a roll-up of security and reliability enhancements.
That's a good way to put it. A robust roll-up for these widely deployed Windows 10 versions.
Okay, and finally, to round out our Windows 10 review for this month, there's another update targeting an older LTSC build, KB 5063889.
That's right. Concluding our Windows 10 segment with KB 5063889, this is a security update for Windows 10 version 1507, specifically OS build 10240.211100. Now, for our listeners, version 1507, that's the original release of Windows 10, typically found these days on devices leveraging the Long-Term Servicing Channel, or LTSC.
Right, those specialty systems, point of sale, medical devices, industrial controls.
Exactly. Devices needing a long life cycle with minimal changes. They get security updates for years, but fewer feature updates. So this update's primary purpose is delivering unspecified security enhancements to the internal Windows OS functionality for those systems, bolstering defenses against threats relevant to these long lifecycle deployments. Like its counterparts, it builds on previous fixes, including improvements from the prior KB 5062561 update, continuing that cumulative approach for this older LTSC version.
And I bet it mentions those deadlines again.
You bet correctly. Consistent with the other Windows 10 security updates this month, this KB highlights the upcoming Secure Boot Certificate expiration June 2026 and explicitly reiterates the Windows 10 end of support date October 14th, 2025. This constant messaging reinforces those critical strategic points, particularly for organizations maybe still running these older LTSC deployments that could easily get overlooked.
A clear signal to accelerate migration plans, or at least be very aware of their status.
Precisely. For Intune admins, it means keeping track of these devices too. And like some of its counterparts this month, there are no specific improvements or bug fixes documented beyond general security hardening for this release. And importantly, no known issues reported in the KB article.
Which is always good news for deployment stability, especially in those potentially sensitive LTSC environments.
Definitely. Makes planning a bit easier.
Okay, let's pivot now. Let's shift our focus to our Windows 11 environments. We've got a number of critical security updates here too, and it looks like some come with specific quality of life improvements that administrators and maybe even end users will appreciate. Let's start with KB 5062552.
Right, starting with KB 5062552. This one's a critical security update for Windows 11 Enterprise and Education version 22H2 and also all editions of Windows 11 version 23H2. So it addresses significant security issues across these very widely deployed Windows 11 versions, fortifying them against various threats. It incorporates quality improvements from previous updates, making it a comprehensive package, and of course includes a servicing stack update SSU KB 5063707, vital for enhancing future update reliability and ensuring smooth Intune deployments.
Okay, security quality SSU. Any standout improvements in this one?
Yes, there's a key improvement delivered in KB 5062552. It's a specific graphics display fix. It resolves those persistent black screen problems people sometimes see during display changes like connecting or disconnecting external monitors or just switching display modes.
That one. Yes, incredibly annoying, especially docking stations.
Exactly. It's a significant functional improvement for user experience, particularly in modern hybrid work setups where users are constantly connecting, disconnecting, moving between meeting rooms. This fix directly addresses a major frustration point. The update document also notes the Microsoft Chengji Input Method Editor, IME, issue again, similar to what we saw in Windows 10.
Still chasing that one down, huh?
Seems like it. Though the document indicates that this particular instance was resolved in a subsequent update, KB 5062663. It highlights that ongoing effort to stabilize IME functionality across different Windows versions, aiming for consistency.
Makes sense. Now, for the very latest Windows 11 iteration, version 24H2, we have KB 5062553. What critical updates and improvements does that bring to the newest version?
Indeed, KB 5062553. This is a critical security update specifically for Windows 11 version 24H2 across all editions. Its core security focus, naturally, is on addressing significant security issues within the OS, paramount for maintaining integrity, confidentiality, availability on these newer systems. It includes improvements from the previous update, KB 5060829, building on past security and quality work. And it integrates SSU KB 5063666 to enhance update reliability for this version. Again, aiming for stable, predictable patching via Intune.
Any specific functional fixes here? Things users might notice.
Yes, this KB brings a couple of crucial functional fixes. Firstly, it resolves a graphics synchronization issue. This was where game content could get out of sync with the cursor position after using Alt+Tab in full screen exclusive mode, especially if the game resolution didn't match the desktop resolution.
Okay, sounds like a gaming fix, but you often say those can indicate deeper issues.
That's often the case. While it seems gaming-centric, it can point to underlying problems in graphics handling that might affect other demanding apps too. Think professional CAD software, video editing, medical imaging tools, anything where precise cursor-to-display sync is critical. Secondly, it fixes an issue where notification sounds for alerts, volume adjustments, sign-ins were just not playing.
The silent treatment.
Yeah.
That can be disorienting.
It can. Restoring those important audio cues contributes to a more complete, responsive user experience.
That's quite a range of fixes for 24H2. Are there any known issues with this update, KB 5062553, that administrators should be prepared for, perhaps with workarounds or resolutions already available?
Yes, the update notes a couple of known issues, along with their status, which is helpful for planning. One was specific to Generation 2 Azure Virtual Machines, VMs, with Trusted Launch disabled. There was an issue where these VMs might fail to boot after installing the update if virtualization-based security, VBS, was enforced via a registry key.
Ouch, good failures in Azure VMs sounds serious.
Definitely a critical cloud-specific bug. But the good news is it's already addressed in KB 5064489, shows a swift follow-up to ensure stability for those virtualized environments, which are obviously very common. Additionally, the Microsoft Changji Input Method Editor, IME, issue gets another mention here. Symptoms similar to the Windows 10 version's problems forming words, unresponsive spacebar, incorrect output. For Windows 11 version 24H2, this specific issue is addressed in KB 5062660, again demonstrating that ongoing effort to squash these persistent IME bugs across the board.
Okay, good to know those are being addressed. Now, for systems running the slightly earlier Windows 11 versions, specifically 23H2 and 23H2, we have another critical update in KB 5063875. What's important to know about this one?
That would be KB 5063875, yes. A critical security update for Windows 11 Enterprise and Education version 22H2 and all editions of Windows 11 version 23H2. This update addresses significant security issues, naturally, but also incorporates general quality improvements for overall stability and reliability on these widely adopted versions. It integrates SSU KB 5062686, crucial for robust installations, reinforcing the need for a healthy servicing stack for reliable patch management through Intune. High success rates are the goal.
Any key improvements beyond the security and quality basics?
Yes. A notable improvement here is enhanced Copilot key reliability. It resolves an issue that previously stopped users from restarting Copilot after using the dedicated Copilot key on their keyboard.
Important for orgs actually using or rolling out Copilot.
Directly relevant, yes. Ensures that integrated AI assistant stays responsive and accessible for users relying on it. Also, quite notably, this update explicitly clarifies the life cycle for Windows 11 version 22H2. It marks the end of non-security preview updates for 22H2 as of June 26, 2025.
Okay, so only security updates after that date for 22H2.
Correct. Security updates will continue until October 14th, 2025, but the optional C and D week previews stop in June. This distinction is important for admins. Understand the changing update cadence, plan feature update strategies accordingly. Might need to accelerate transitions to 23H2 or 24H2 for continued access to those non-security previews. And good news on the deployment front. The KB article for KB 5063875 reports no known issues.
Excellent. It's rollout planning a bit smoother. And finally, for Windows 11 this month, let's discuss KB 5063878.
Right, KB 5063878. This is a critical security update specifically for Windows 11 version 24H2, targeting OS build 26100.4946. It addresses significant security issues, fortifying the OS defenses. It also includes quality improvements carried forward from the previous update, KB 5065381, to enhance the reliability of future updates. Maintaining that dependable update process for the latest Win 11 iteration is key for predictable Intune rollouts.
Any specific improvements called out in this one?
Yes, there's a key improvement here focused on authentication processes. It resolves an issue that caused delays during sign-in on new devices. Apparently, this was particularly noticeable due to certain pre-installed packages causing problems.
Faster sign-ins on new machines. That's always welcome. Streamlines provisioning.
Exactly. Improves the out-of-box experience, reduces friction for new users or devices joining your domain, can ease a common administrative headache. And again, good news for deployment confidence. The KB article indicates no known issues reported with this update, suggests a straightforward installation for your newest Windows 11 24H2 devices.
Okay, we've covered the client OS updates pretty thoroughly. Let's move beyond that now and talk about updates affecting multi-OS and server environments. KB 5063877 looks particularly noteworthy here.
Indeed it is. KB 5063877 is a critical security update, and its scope is quite broad, spanning multiple operating systems. It applies to Windows 10 Enterprise LTSC 2019, Windows 10 IoT Enterprise LTSC 2019, Windows 10 IoT Core LTSC, and critically for many organizations, Windows Server 2019.
Server 2019, right. Still a workhorse in many data centers.
Absolutely. So this update addresses significant vulnerabilities across these platforms. It also includes quality improvements inherited from the previous update, KB 5062557, ensuring comprehensive security. It integrates the latest SSU, KB 5062800. Designed to enhance update process reliability, which is, as we've said, especially crucial in server environments where stability, predictability, uptime are absolutely paramount for business ops.
So what's the major highlight for server admins in this particular update?
The big one is a crucial fix for a cluster service issue in Windows Server 2019. Previously, there was a problem where the cluster service would just repeatedly stop and restart on nodes using BitLocker with cluster shared volumes, CSVs.
Oh, wow. That sounds incredibly disruptive for high availability setups.
Severely impactful. It could disrupt services, affect data availability, cause major operational headaches. Resolving this is a direct, substantial benefit for production server environments relying on clustering for redundancy and resilience. This fix could potentially prevent costly downtime, ensure business continuity. It's the kind of fix server admins really, really appreciate because it addresses a core stability problem in critical infrastructure.
That cluster service fix really does sound like a potential lifesaver for many. Are there other notable fixes or perhaps important clarifications included in KB 5063.877?
Yes, a couple of other points. This update also includes that fix for the Microsoft Changji Input Method Editor, IME issue again, problem preventing users selecting words.
The IME fix travels far, even to servers.
It seems to. Indicates a shared component across client and server builds. Its resolution contributes to a more stable experience for anyone interacting directly with servers or using remote desktop for admin tasks. Furthermore, the update includes a crucial clarification. It's about enterprise application management. It explicitly states that Windows updates do not encompass Microsoft Store application updates.
Right, that's an important distinction, OS patches versus app patches.
Exactly. For enterprise users, the guidance is clear. Refer to Configuration Manager or, crucially for our audience, Intune for comprehensive application management. Admins need to understand their scope of control OS components versus applications. Use the right tools, like Intune's app management features, for deploying and updating applications. Don't expect OS patches to handle store apps. And finally, the KB article reports no known issues currently associated with KB 5063.877. That simplifies planning for deployment in those critical server environments.
Okay, that covers the more traditional security and stability updates. But now let's shift gears to something a bit different, but definitely increasingly crucial for modern deployments. This suite of non-security AI enhancements, targeted at Windows 11 systems, especially those with specialized hardware like Copilot plus PCs. This feels like a new wave, doesn't it? Updates focused purely on advanced capabilities.
It really does signal a distinct evolution, absolutely. We're seeing updates delivered specifically for Windows 11 version 24H2 that are entirely focused on enhancing the on-device artificial intelligence capabilities. These leverage the specialized neural processing units, or NPUs, that are becoming standard in the latest hardware.
NPUs, so dedicated AI accelerators right on the chip.
Exactly. Think of them as high-performance AI engines built into the processor, designed to handle these AI workloads efficiently, quickly, and importantly, locally on the device. So first up, we have a group of image processing AI component updates. There's KB 5065.499 for Qualcomm-powered systems, KB 5065.500 for Intel-powered, and KB 5065.501 for AMD-powered systems, all running Windows 11 24H2.
Specific KBs per chip vendor. Interesting.
Yes, likely due to differences in the NPU implementations. Their primary purpose is to enhance core image processing capabilities. They improve the underlying AI components responsible for complex tasks. Things like scaling information within images or accurately extracting foreground and background elements.
What are the implications of that? Better photo editing, better Teams backgrounds.
Both, potentially, and more. It directly benefits applications that rely heavily on visual analysis. Think advanced content creation tools, yes, but also video conferencing features manipulating backgrounds for privacy or aesthetics. It's about making these common AI-driven visual tasks faster, more precise, more efficient right on the device. Less reliance on cloud processing, better responsiveness for the user.
Okay, so making visual AI tasks perform better directly on the user's machine. What else are we seeing in this AI enhancement category this month?
Following that, we have KB 5065.502. This one targets the image transform AI component. Again, specifically on Windows 11 version 24H2 Copilot plus PCs. This update enhances the AI component's ability to do something pretty cool. Erase foreground objects from an image and then intelligently fill in the empty spaces with contextually generated backgrounds.
Like the generative fill features we see in dedicated image editing software.
Precisely. This capability is a cornerstone for those advanced photo editing features. It potentially enables powerful generative fill functions right within the OS or supported apps without needing constant cloud connectivity or heavy cloud processing. It points towards a much more capable on-device creative suite. Performing complex visual manipulations locally offers enhanced privacy and offline utility, which is a big plus.
Very interesting. And there was one more set of AI updates, the Silica ones.
Yes, and arguably this is the most significant set of non-security updates this month in terms of future capabilities. We have the Silica AI component updates, again differentiated by processor. KB 5065503 for Qualcomm-powered, KB 5065504 for Intel-powered, and KB 5065505 for AMD-powered systems, all running Windows 11 24H2 Copilot Plus PCs. These KBs focus on enhancing the performance and efficiency of the transformer-based local language model that's deeply integrated into these systems.
A transformer-based local language model. Okay, break that down. That sounds like the tech behind things like ChatGPT, but running locally.
Effectively, yes. It's a highly advanced AI architecture that powers sophisticated natural language processing capabilities directly on the device. Think understanding context, generating text, summarization, maybe even translation.
Running a local language model like that sounds like a huge deal for both privacy and performance, right? No data needs to leave the device for many tasks. What are the practical implications of these Phi-Silica updates for enterprises using these new PCs?
The implications are substantial. A more performant, more efficient local language model means much better responsiveness. Reduced latency for AI-driven features. Think contextual assistance popping up right within applications. Much faster summarization of documents or emails. Potentially even local code generation snippets or data analysis insights. All without requiring sensitive data to leave the device.
That's a massive selling point for Copilot plus PCs in regulated industries or anywhere data privacy is paramount.
Absolutely. It directly feeds into that value proposition, privacy and offline productivity, crucial considerations for enterprise deployments. These updates really underscore Microsoft's commitment to enabling advanced AI functions directly on the end-user device, leveraging those specialized NPUs. For administrators, it means understanding that patching is evolving. It now includes optimizing these highly specialized AI components for peak performance and enabling new features, especially as Copilot plus PCs become more common in the enterprise.
So these aren't bug fixes at all. They're capability enhancements.
Precisely. They are substantial capability enhancements that will likely redefine what users can accomplish directly on their devices. This represents a real strategic shift in how software updates deliver value, moving towards enabling that next generation of intelligent computing right there at the endpoint.
So after digging through all of that, what does this all really mean for you, our listener, as we wrap up this deep dive into August's Patch Tuesday? This hasn't just been a list of patches, has it? It feels more like a strategic roadmap for endpoint management.
I think that's a good way to put it. To quickly summarize the main themes we've seen across all these KBs today. Firstly, there's that relentless focus on core operating system security. Critical vulnerabilities addressed across Windows 10, Windows 11, and servers. Those miscellaneous security improvements suggest broad underlying OS hardening.
Foundational security is always job one.
Always. Secondly, a clear and present strategic imperative. The secure boot certificate expiration coming in June 2026, that's a critical heads up. Requires long-term planning, proactive certificate management across the fleet. Avoid those potential boot failures.
Get ahead of that one. Don't wait.
Definitely not. Thirdly, for Windows 10 deployments, the constant reinforcement of that October 2025 end of support date, the strong push towards Windows 11. This demands active lifecycle management within your Intune strategies. Prioritize migration.
The clock is ticking loudly on Windows 10.
It really is. Fourthly, we saw a whole range of functional fixes and quality improvements that directly impact user experience and system stability. Everything from resolving those pesky IME and emoji panel search issues to critical graphics rendering problems causing black screens, improvements in Copilot key reliability, fixing authentication delays, and that vital fix for cluster service stability on Server 2019.
The fixes that make day-to-day work less frustrating.
Exactly. They enhance operations, prevent user frustration, lead to a more stable, productive environment. And finally, fifth, the emergence of that significant new category, AI enhancements for Windows 11. Purely about optimizing performance and capabilities of on-device AI components. Whether it's sophisticated image processing, generative fills, or boosting the efficiency of local language models on Copilot plus PCs, this signals a future where updates increasingly involve optimizing for specialized hardware and intelligent features right on the endpoint.
It definitely changes the scope of patching and endpoint management. So as you integrate these updates into your environment using Intune, consider how these shifts from the immediate urgency of certificate expirations and OS lifecycles to the longer-term evolving role of on-device AI will fundamentally shape your approach to endpoint management in the coming years. It leaves us with a question to ponder. What stands out to you as the biggest, most impactful shift revealed this Patch Tuesday, influencing your strategic planning moving forward?